Oh man, oh man. You might have caught me leaning down on my iPad trying to share out to the world. This is Everything Browns Nation, a Producer G Fan Chat Nation production. It is 12 o'clock on the dot. How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I am Corey Boyd. That is Producer G, and it is Cleveland Browns off-season talk. 12:01. Baker Mayfield. I'm going to scoop myself to the left a little bit along with the mic so I can be centered onto the screen. It's been a long 2 to 3 weeks here. I know you haven't seen me for a while. Like, where are you at? What's been going on? I don't know what's been going on. Life has been happening, but we are here. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where you're shouting out from. Where are you watching from on this Saturday? If you're watching, if you're out and about, if you're rolling along here, is it cold where you're at? Is it hot? Is it snowing? Is it sunny? Let me know what's going on in your life. What device are you watching from? Is it an iPad? Is it a tablet? Is it a phone? Is it a computer? Do you got us on your TV? Are you watching on YouTube on Everything Browns Nation? Let us know what's going on. We're going to have some fun today, and we're going to have a little program update. Sad to say this, but this will be, for the foreseeable future, the last live production for the foreseeable future. You know, things happen, funds happen, equipment things happen, but for the foreseeable future, this will be the last live podcast of Everything Browns Nation, just for a little bit. We may have some special ones, you know, during the draft. Who knows? But so let's have some fun. For the foreseeable future, this may be the last podcast for Everything Browns Nation during this long off season. So let's enjoy this one. Let's have fun together. And let's go. Natasha says, what up, Corey? Woof, woof. Clyde says, what's going on, fellas? Frederick says, go Browns. Hey, Corey, watching from cold Nova Scotia. Did I say that right? Did I butcher it? Let me know. Robert Watson. Jeff says, is it over for now? It's over for now. We'll be back. Things have came up. Clyde says, say it ain't so. He says, I hope you keep doing everything Buckeyes Nation. Todd says, Chilla Coffee in the dog pound. Robert says, oh, no, Corey. Oh, no, they say. You know, I know. We need this. Go over to Everything Patreon / Everything Browns Nation. Give us a little love there. We're going to try to keep this going. We'll be back during the season. Off season, you know, we're having a little, you know, technical difficulties going on. But, hey, we're going to have some fun this show. So let's get it going. I'm Corey Boyd. Baker Mayfield, Saquon Barkley, Rookie of the Year. Who should have won? We know who won. But should Saquon Barkley have won the Rookie of the Year? Should it have been Baker? Now, I know people who see this later on or now, you know, they're going to say, well. Look at this guy in a Baker Mayfield shirt saying that, of course he's going to say Baker Mayfield should have won the Rookie of the Year. He's just being biased. It's called Everything Browns Nation. How could he say Saquon doesn't deserve Rookie of the Year? I mean, this is a Brown show. Of course he's going to say Baker Mayfield deserved it. Yeah, duh. But let me just say this. Saquon Barkley was good this year. 1,307 yards, 11 touchdowns, 91 receptions for 721 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That is good numbers. Let's give him a hand clap. Good job, Saquon Barkley. Those are good numbers. Those are Rookie of the Year numbers, Rookie of the Year candidate numbers. But let me ask you a question, voters. The 26.5 voters, and Mayfield had 21.5. So you 5 voters who said, you're telling me, you're telling Browns fans around the world that Saquon Barkley is the Rookie of the Year. Now I know what you're saying. Who's going to watch this? Every fan in New York who may tune in to say, who is this guy who is just yelling on the mic? Who are you to say Saquon doesn't deserve Rookie of the Year? I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying Baker should have won over him. And here is why. The Giants were 5-11 as I take a drink of my Pepsi Zero. Give me a call. 5-11. Excuse me. 5-11. Okay? Now, what is a Browns person talking about a record? Well, the Browns were 7-8-1, and Baker Mayfield didn't even start the entire year. Hello, excuse me. Oh, and did I forget? He went through a coaching change. Oh, excuse me. An entire coach franchise put it on his back and has given us hope that we haven't had in years. Okay? 7-8-1, and we're walking around now like, listen, we can't wait till next season. Okay? What are Giants fans saying right now? Are they saying, boy, woo, wait till next year. Boy, we're going to the Super Bowl. You know what they're saying? God, I hope they draft Dwayne Haskins. That's what they're saying. They're not saying, boy, Saquon's going to take us to the promised lands next year. No, they're not saying that. Now, granted, he had a good year. I'm not trying to poo-poo on this boy, but let's get something straight here. Baker Mayfield should have won Rookie of the Year. I don't care, okay? And you can call me being biased all you want. I don't care. This man is now having us hope. We're wearing shirts, Baker special shirts. I got a shirt on with the man on it. We weren't buying brown shirts with players on it, were we? No. I had to go get me a custom jersey with my name on it because I was like, there is nobody to get. Let me just get my name on it. Okay? 5-11, 7-8-1, and he broke Peyton Manning and Russell Wilson's record in 13 games. But we're just going to poo-poo that to the side, are we? That's what we do now. We just poo-poo records that are broken. But, Corey, it's a quarterback-driven league. The rules protect the quarterback. That's why he broke the record. Excuse me, Baker didn't get calls. He got hit in the head. And they didn't call him, okay? So don't give me that mess either. The man deserved the Rookie of the Year over Saquon Barkley. That's how I feel. Nobody can sway me from that. Baker Mayfield should be Rookie of the Year, and that is how I feel about that situation. It was a travesty, and he was robbed. And let me get back to the comments. I had to get that off my chest. Woo! Clint says they both deserved it. Brandon says, I love Baker, but Barkley balled out more. I have to disagree. He did ball out, though, but I have to disagree. Robert says, so will you be back next season? I will be back, ladies and gentlemen. If you just tuned in, taking a little, I'm gonna call it a leave of absence. I'm not gonna call it, last. I'm just gonna call it a leave of absence is what we're taking here. If you just tuned in, this will be the last show for the foreseeable future of Everything Browns Nation. Robert says, even non-Brown fans say Baker should have had it. Clint says Barkley's line was straight trash too, though. Natasha says, wow, Corey, you offer excitement and too much talent doing this show. We're going to miss you. Robert says Barkley was awesome. Can't take it from him. But Baker had a rookie of the week. How many times? 7. 7 rookie of the weeks. Thank you, Robert. I didn't even put that in my little rant. 7 rookie of the weeks. Marco says, what up, Clyde? Clint says, don't blame that record on Barkley, LOL. Frederick says, breaker. Jeff says, it says broadcast interrupter. What's going on? The show over or something? I don't know. I think we're going good. Robert says, should be drinking Corey. Marco giving me the pound. Clint says, Baker did go through more adversity by far. Frederick says, hope. Joe says, next season, these men will be great playoffs. Clint says, if Dak won over Zeke that Rookie of the Year season, then I agree with Baker winning this year. Alvin says, point well taken. Robert says, fuel to Baker's fire. He will be lights out next season. Robert says, watch out, NFL. Robert says, we coming. Joe says, Baker will be our franchise player without a doubt. Playoffs every year. Bet. Jamie says, what's your take on David Njoku? David Njoku, that's a good question. I thought he would have had a better year this year. Last year. Technically, this year's not here yet, but you get what I'm saying. I thought he would have had a better year. I think he came on once Baker came on and, Freddie took over. But I thought he was actually my player at the beginning of the season that I thought everybody was sleeping on, and he was going to have a breakout season. That quite didn't happen, but I think he only can get better. I think he could be one of those dominant tight ends, the Kelce's of the world. Don't sleep on him. I'm not giving up on him yet. Now, I know I'm not saying he's Travis Kelce. Calm down. Don't go, whoa, did you say he's better than Trap? No, I didn't say that. I'm saying he can get to that level. He has the height, the speed, the athleticism. But with this new regime, just get him the touches, get him the ball. Watch out. I still believe in David Njoku. He was my breakout player. If you watched way back in the preseason, I thought he would have a big year. It didn't happen, but I'm not going to give up on David Njoku. I want to see more sumo spikes in the end zone this year. That's my guy. Robert says, I'm glad I didn't offer to eat my hat if Baker wasn't given the award, LOL. Yeah, you'd have been eating that hat. I think if I'm right, Robert, the first bet you did on Eat the Hat was against Atlanta, and that's when the Browns really took off, was that Atlanta game after they lost to Kansas City, if I am correct. And Clint said Zeke led the league in rushing, but yet they gave it to Dak. I still don't agree with that Rookie of the Year. So, yeah, I'm going with Baker on that one. I know what people are going to say. If anybody outside of here sees this on any part of the world, well, you're on a Brown show with a Baker Mayfield shirt. There is no objectivity in your explanation. You can say that all you want. I think the numbers speak for itself. I think his play speak for himself, and his impact on his team in less games, to me, speak for itself. But hey, here we go. But there is one thing Baker did do. He did win Cleveland's Professional Athlete of the Year. So, hey, he did get an award. Cleveland did Cleveland did recognize, hey, this guy is the man. He won Professional Athlete of the Year. He beat out Corey Kluber, Jose Ramirez, and Denzel Ward. That year is given out by the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission. If you didn't know, now you know. So Baker Mayfield did get an award. It wasn't the Rookie of the Year, which he should have got, but that's okay. Cleveland has recognized this man as the Professional Athlete of the Year. That's right. Go ahead, Baker. At least they gave you something. Alvin says he'll get the touches after another receiver is added because the defense will be busy trying to cover them. I think he's talking about Njoku. And Clint says, I thought Baker should have won it. I mean, 2 300-plus yard games versus a number one defense, Baltimore. Good point. Good point. And Billy says Baker is going to be this year's league MVP. And Jamie Smith says, is Hollywood going to hit 1,000 yards? You're going to have to catch me before the beginning of the season of that. I'm not putting my name on that yet. That's a good question, though. I got to see what we do in the offseason, what receivers we pick up, what free agents we get. I'm not going to go that route yet. But we'll see. Speaking of free agency players, this was last week, but I'm going to bring it up. I want to know how you guys feel about this. Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, you know, those are our two, I say, more popular players. They've been recruiting. They've been recruiting people, you know, recruiting cats to come to Cleveland. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about recruiting? They are recruiting cats to come to Cleveland. Von Miller, Odell Beckham, Antonio Brown. Baker was at a dinner with Von Miller and Odell Beckham. You know Jarvis Landry's been on Instagram. How do you feel about recruiting players to come to Cleveland? And what player would you want to be recruited to Cleveland? I'm all for it. I'm going to let you know where I stand now. I'm all for it. Hey, let's go. I've read they've been recruiting players at the Pro Bowl is recruiting Von Miller to come to Cleveland. Now, John Elway tried to put that. He's like, Von Miller's coming back. He ain't trading no Von Miller. Hey, I'm all for it. Recruit. Bring people to Cleveland. I'm all for it. Jarvis Landry, he's always on Instagram recruiting people to come to Cleveland because we were a destination that supposedly careers died. You come to Cleveland, your career is dead. Now they're trying to change that narrative. They want to change it. Change that narrative. Come on to Cleveland. Your star quarterback is out here. That's what they say. Out here, hey, come on over. Come to the squad. I like it. They want to win. Let's go. We show what we can do. We was 0-16, 7-8-1. This is where you want to be. This is where you want to play. New regime, new players. Let's go. I like the recruiting. I know some people, well, back in the day, they would never do that. You would never recruit players to come and play. It's not how you do. That ain't. Oh, please stop it. I like it. I love it. What up, Eddie Stats? Hey, man, chase your dreams, man. You ain't got to apologize. He said, what up, sorry, been really busy chasing dreams. Go ahead and do your thing. Robert says, recruit them, then bless them. Alvin says, I'm all in for Von Miller. Clyde says, I think it's great. They're recruiting. It shows they're serious. Eddie says, just think the AFC North could have all young quarterbacks next year as their starters. True, true. Clint Cole says, I'm a Penn State fan, bro, so I was happy for Quads, but the history of our franchise at the QB position, then having a rookie QB who breaks records that was held by Peyton and Russ, dang, hard not to give it to Baker. I feel you on that. Jamie says, with all our picks, do you think Cleveland will try to move up in the draft? Alvin says, I love that hat. Even better, the players now want to come. I love that. Not love that hat. Where did I love that hat? I can't even read. I love that. See? That's why I need to go home. Terrible. My bad, Alvin. He says, I love that. Even better, the players now want to come maybe to Cleveland. Think about that. Thank you, Alvin. When in the past 5-10 years would anybody even think about coming to Cleveland? Never. I'll answer it for you. Never. Now, hey, we got players on the recruiting trail. Now, will it happen? Who knows? But I like it. And Jamie, I don't know what's in Dorsey's head. I've heard so many rumors as far as the draft goes, who they're going to pick with the 17th pick. The latest is, with the so-called expert. That's why I don't even call myself an expert when it comes to the draft. From what I'm reading, the so-called experts say the Browns are going after this defensive tackle out of Mississippi State. Supposedly. But I've heard receivers. I've heard linebackers. Will they move up? Maybe. If there's somebody that Dorsey likes. But if you've watched this show, or this is your first time watching, my motto is, I'm done arguing with Dorsey. Whatever he says goes. So, like the latest rumor is Jeffrey Simmons from Mississippi State. That's the latest rumor. Supposedly the Browns were reported to take defensive tackle because our run defense stunk. Hey, that's who they want? Cool with me. I'm done. No more. But if they say, let's get some picks, we see somebody we want, we're going to move up, move into the top 10, top 5. That's what they want to do. They got a plethora of picks. Go ahead. Do that too. I'm not arguing anymore. But that was the rumor as far as the draft goes, is the defensive tackle out of Mississippi State. That was the rumor. But I've seen so many reports of who they're going to take. I've seen Devin White from LSU, the linebacker. I've seen that. I've seen so many. Matt Miller from Bleacher Report says DeAndre Baker, the cornerback from Georgia. I've seen that. I've seen so many people saying different things, different picks that the Browns are going to take. Nobody knows but Dorsey. Nobody knows but Dorsey. We have all this speculation. Well, this is who they're going to take. They don't know. Nobody knows. Everybody said last year, Sam Darnold is #1 pick for Cleveland. He is the most polished quarterback. He's so safe. Sam Darnold. Then as soon as the draft came, well, I'm hearing Baker. Oh, now you're hearing Baker, huh? Now you're hearing Baker Mayfield. All up to the draft at Sam Darnold. Oh, now Baker Mayfield. Listen, Dorsey, whatever Dorsey says, I'm done arguing. I've argued too many times this year, and he's made me look stupid. How could you get rid of Carlos Hyde? Come on, man. That worked out pretty well, didn't it? Really? You getting rid of Josh Gordon? Man, come on, man. We ain't getting nothing for him. Well, that worked out. That worked out pretty good. Come on, man. I ain't arguing no more. I'm not arguing. Justin says, Jalen Ramsey, trade Tyrod Taylor in the 3rd. Von Miller, trade the 1st and the 5th, and we have 3. I like that. Eddie says they could get Ed Oliver. Alvin says, I don't think Dorsey will move up. He knows what he wants, and I trust him. Jamie says, do you think we'll go after Von Miller? John Elway says he's not trading Von Miller. That's what John Elway says. We'll see. He needs to do something because that team stinks. Denver stinks. What has John Elway done? If you think about it. Now, this is the Brown show. so I'm not going to go on a tangent. But anybody can go sign Peyton Manning. Like, how hard is that? Really? Is that hard? Oh, he got Peyton Manning. Come on, was that a hard thing to do, really? Oh, Peyton Manning's out there. Who didn't want to get Peyton Manning at that time? He's on the clock because his quarterbacks has been failing. But to answer your question, if he's available, I would hope they would go after Von Miller. I would go after Von Miller. Myles Garrett, Von Miller, hello. I know he's 29 years old, going on 30. I go by what I see on the field. Von Miller still can produce, and that's all that matters to me. Von Miller, Myles Garrett, I'll take it. I would go after Von Miller. Did I say Miller? I don't know. What am I talking about here? I'm just over here rambling, talking all stupid. Oh, my goodness. I still like that y'all rolling with me. Everybody that's watching, I appreciate it. Everything Browns Nation. This is a Producer G Fan Chat Nation production. And I want y'all to do me a favor. I seen this on Cleveland.com, so I am not going to take the credit. See, I give credit when credit is due. I don't steal people's work like some people. I want y'all to name some random Browns players for me. In your comment section, name some random player. There's some random Browns player on the team now, in the past, in the comment section. I want to have some fun with it. I seen it. I thought it was quite fun. You probably did it. You probably seen it too. I was like, damn, I got to wait till Saturday to do this. I thought it would be fun. Let's have a little fun. Just name some random Browns player from now, from the past, a team like Spurgeon Wynn. You could do that. Dion Lewis, who went to the Patriots and just flourished. Michael Jackson. You know, players like that. Kevin Johnson, who had the baggy sleeves that got on my nerves. I hate those sleeves. Anybody. Just name some random Browns player in the comment section. Just because I thought it was a pretty good idea, so I wanted to take it. But give them their credit. Cleveland.com did it. So I thought, hey, I'm going to use that on my show. Alvin said the conversation on the red carpet was awkward for him about the Cleveland move. Alvin says Dave Logan. Frederick says Jim Browns. Hey, let's go. Let's get it in there. Dave Logan, that's a good one. Let's get it in there. Random. And Eddie says that's the only piece Denver got is Von Miller. Cleveland could offer the first-round pick this year and third round this year and the next first-round pick for Von Miller. Well, you know Dorsey ain't doing that, Eddie. Come on. Dorsey was like, no. I ain't giving up all my picks. Nope. Robert says Darren Cheverny. I probably blew it. Lou the Toe Groza. Bernie Kosar. Now listen. Lou the Toe. That's a good one. Lou the Toe Groza. Lou, I like that one. Uh-oh. That may win so far. Lou the Toe Groza. Okay, Jamie Smith. Lou the Toe Groza. Dave says, do you think they will bring in Terrell Pryor for tryouts? Alvin says no. Funny you bring that up, Dave. Terrell, our long lost wide receiver Pryor. He was, on the media rounds, Super Bowl week, talking about he wished he would have stayed in Cleveland. Clyde says Clay Matthews, Webster Slater, Eric Metcalf. Then he says Ernest Biner. Jamie says LMAO. Ernest Biner. Terrell Pryor. Now, I'm not going to lie. I like Terrell Pryor in Cleveland. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I said it before, and I will stay here. I liked him in Cleveland. He was the only bright spot during that 1-15 season. Everybody else absolutely stunk. But here nor there. He was doing an interview on the Tomahawk podcast during Super Bowl week. And he said, I wish I would have stayed there. I loved it there. He reveals he had bad advice that made him leave the Browns. His agent, believing his market would have been set close to the franchise tag, would have been for a wide receiver in 2017. And the franchise tag was $15.68 million. He didn't get that. Cleveland offered him 4 years, $32 million. He didn't take it. Ended up going to Washington. Got a 1 year, $8 million deal. And the story goes from there, and you know the rest. Terrell Pryor took bad advice from an agent, and his career has went kaput since then. He went to Washington with Kirk Cousins. Didn't work. Got hurt. Went to the Jets. Didn't work. Did he end up on the Bills? I don't know. I don't know where he ended up. But here nor there. The namesake Paul Brown, Reggie Langhorne. Listen, Mark Rippon, Aaron Shea, Kevin Mack, Chris Gardocki, Ben Gay, not lately. But to answer the question about Terrell Pryor, I would give him a tryout. I know. People probably like, what? Would you give? Listen. A lot of people were like, okay, look, I'm not going to lie. I have emotions too. I get emotional with certain players like James Harden. I can't stand him. Like, I know that's off the topic. That's basketball. But anyways, but we can't let emotions get here. You can get him for cheap now. Why? What's his market? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Let's do the Bill Belichick. What does Belichick do? When your stock is low as possible, he picks you up. That's what he does. Yeah. Let me get him now. His stock is low. Well, get him. Get him now. His stock is low. Baker Mayfield, are you serious? Give him somebody with some height. Some height to him. Now, I know he's had some injuries. Now, do I think this is going to happen? I'm going to put this out there. No. Because his only ties to Cleveland was Hugh Jackson. That's it. That's why he was there, because he played with Hugh in Oakland. That's it. I don't think he's coming back, but I would take the chance. He's big. With Cleveland, he was good. And who did he have throwing to him? Cody Kessler. Hugh Jackson. Not Hugh Jackson. I said Hugh Jackson was throwing to him. Shut up. Cody Kessler. DeShone Kizer. Kevin Hogan. Really? Those were his three quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield's better than all three of them combined. Okay? I would do it. Now, it's not going to happen, but I would do it. He's not going to cost nothing. Well, football, nothing. I mean, he's going to cost at least $1 million, but you get what I'm saying. Football-wise, he's going to cost nothing. He's a big receiver. He's been humbled. I would take it's not really a risk, really. We've seen what he can do when he's at his best. He loves it in Cleveland. Why not? You got Baker Mayfield now. Let's go. I would go for it, but it's not going to happen. To answer the question, I would go for it, but I know it's not going to happen. All right. Let me see what I'm missing here. Alvin says, if I were a receiver, I'd want Baker throwing my way. I see Ernest Biner was a beast on Tecmo Bowl. Reggie Langhorne, Mike Babb, point on with Tyrell. That's something about let's show some love to the former Buckeyes continuing their professional football careers on CBS. Jalen Marshall, Chase Ferris, Tracy Sprinkle, Marcus Ball, Dorian Grant, all fighting for NFL training camp spot. Go Buckeyes. That's Mike Tackett. Justin says he's 6'4", 230. Baker can make him the receiver we thought that he was. That's the difference with the QB situation now. Baker makes every receiver better. Justin Miller, I like it. Alvin says Phil Dawson. Natasha says I like Pryor too. I'm all in on getting Baker. God, I miss him. He was a Redskin when we had Kizer. Clint Cole. I swore didn't he play with Kizer? I swore he played with Kizer. Maybe I was wrong. I swore he played with Kizer. Maybe he did. I swore he did, though. Didn't he play with Kaiser? I swore he played with Kaiser. I'm about to go on YouTube and type in Terrell Pryor and Kaiser and see if he threw to him. I swore he played with Kaiser. Maybe I'm tripping. I swore he played with Kaiser. Who was his quarterback? Danny Shelton, McCown. There it is. You're right. He played with McCown. My bad. McCown. Look at that. I am trash. McCown was his quarterback. You're right. It was McCown. Good looking. Look at that. We were so bad. I'm getting the quarterbacks lumped together. Look at that. So bad that plugging in the quarterback, terrible. McCown was his quarterback. Good call. Good call, McCown. We need a big receiver, says Wayne. I'm pulling a Stephen A. Smith up here. That's what you call it. When you blow it, you pull a Stephen A. Smith. Corey, you pulled a Stephen A. Smith. You can't be pulling Stephen A. Smith, dog. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Don't pull a Stephen A. Smith. Get yourself together. Alvin says it's all good. Thank you, Alvin. I can't be doing Stephen A. Smiths up here, though, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I will be better than that. So McCown and Terrell Pryor, that's what it was. It was McCown. All right. Well, point taken. Baker Mayfield's better than McCown. We all can agree with that. He's better than McCown. Josh McCown, Luke McCown, you pick any McCowns. Baker Mayfield is better. I want Terrell Pryor with Baker Mayfield if we get the opportunity. Thank you, Brad, for that. And thank you for calling me out. Whoever called me out, I appreciate that too. Because I was wrong like Stephen A. Smith. Get it together. But I can admit it. Stephen A. Smith will argue with you. No, it was Kaiser. Thank you. They said it would not hurt nothing to bring him in. They do everybody else. Terrell Pryor, 6'5". There it is, 6'5". I like it. I want to talk about this story that came out last week. It was pretty terrible. I don't know if you guys, Pro Football Focus, Mike Florio. Now, Mike Florio. He wrote an article talking about Baker Mayfield could end up leaving Cleveland. This was last week during Super Bowl week. To go to the Patriots. This is exactly what he said. In 2023, when he's a free agent. No, you heard me. 2023. Not next year. Not the year after that. Not the year after that. 2023, when he is a free agent. That's what this man said. Because of the Browns' history of dysfunction, Baker Mayfield could leave to the Patriots. And I'm going to read exactly what he said. He said there's 6 or 7 years in the NFL, forcing his way out, and maybe the road finds its way to New England. Now, I don't know if Tom Brady has 6 years left, but it will be 6 more years at the most before Mayfield would walk away wherever he wants to go. Really? This is what we're doing now. We're writing a hypothetical situation for Baker Mayfield in 6 or 7 years. Really? Can we have anything in Cleveland? This is what we do now, Mike Florio from Pro Football Focus. This is what you do. Oh, Baker could leave it. Shut up. Baker could leave in 6 and 7 years to go to New England. Is Bill Belichick even going to be coaching in New England in 6 and 7 years? Will he? And he's just going to go. He said he could. Come on, man. Really? He's not going anywhere. He loves it here. Now, I know. Anything is possible. But to me, this was one of the worst articles I've ever read in my life, because this is a hypothetical situation going off the past as what was happened in Cleveland. The past. This is now, and of all places, New England. I mean, y'all know how I feel about New England. I mean, if we can do that, I can just write hypothetical situations all day long. If this is how we get popular and this is how we get our name out there, I can write hypothetical situations for people. I can see him having an NBA type player mentality, even though it takes longer in the NFL. I am all in while I'm here, but I am not signing a contract extension per Mike Florio. That's what he could see Baker Mayfield doing in 6 or 7 years. Really? I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to hold you to that. And in 6 or 7 years, I'm going to come back to this, and you better pray he's on New England. I'm going to hold you to that. Man, I hope I'm on your level by the time then, because I will roast you. I will roast you till the cows come home. I know. When are the cows coming home? I don't know. But I will roast you. I hope I'm on your level then, because I will roast you. I will remember this. I will timestamp this video right here. And in 6 and 7 years, I'm close to your level. If you can even read my comments, I am roasting you, because this is the worst article ever written to me. Pathetic. I had to get that out there. I just did. I had to. I know. Corey, how could you get baited into that? That's what he wanted. It's what I do. You can bait me into stupid articles that make me sick. It's what I do. Sorry. Woo. Okay. Whew. I'm back. Jamie says DK Metcalf will look good next to Higgins. Have you seen his highlights? Yes, I have, Jamie. Now, if you watched me a couple weeks ago, referring to the draft, I said I wouldn't be a good draft person. You would never want to hire me for that, because I would take a receiver. I'm not saying that's what we need with the first pick, but that's what I would do. I'm not a good person to have for the draft, though. Have y'all seen DK Metcalf? I know he had a neck injury, so that's something to look at. I'm not poo-pooing it, but have you seen him? And he's the nephew of Eric Metcalf. So, I mean, come on. So, but I'm not the person to go to when it comes to the draft. Like, you wouldn't want to hire me for that, because when I see talent at the wide receiver position and something we're missing is that big receiver. Like, we don't have that big. We have Njoku, who's the tight end, but at the receiver, like that big with that size, we don't have it. He has it. Man, I'm telling you. But I'm not the person for draft. I'm not, because that's why Dorsey's where he's at, and I'm where I'm at. I would go with the receiver. I know that's not a need at the first pick. It's not a need. You got defensive tackle and, shore up your cornerback, and things like that. So I know it's not a need, but that's why you don't put me in the draft. Don't do me. No, buddy. He's going to be getting you a receiver if it's me. Because this man, he is 6'4", 225. Sign me up. Sign me up. I know. Listen, I already said don't have me picking your team. Don't do it. You see me on Madden, all my receivers are huge. All of them, 6'4" and up. Don't do it. I'm just saying. And we don't have a big receiver. I digress. But I like DK Metcalf. Just to answer your question, I like DK Metcalf. Jessica says, I love your shirt. Thank you. Alvin says, Mike, we're not a farm league fool. Don't think so. Gary says, Wayne, superstar QBs last longer than 6 to 7 years. I must have missed a comment. Brad says, Mike Florio looks like a gremlin. And Clint Cole said, I draft a CB cornerback. Okay. I like that. I mean, free agency, it's here. I mean, it's coming along. It's coming up rapidly. And you guys are putting out your free agency picks. I like it. I like it all. The Browns got some free agents coming up. Will they sign them? We got Tyrod Taylor, Brashard Perriman, Rashad Higgins, Rod Streeter, Earl Watford, Greg Robertson, Buddy Calhoun, E.J. Gaines, Justin Burris, Phillip Gaines, Carl Davis, and Ray Armstrong. I think that's all the Browns free agents. I could have missed one. I'm not sure. I did my best in due diligence to get all of the free agents. But I believe those are all the Browns free agents. Now, I jotted down a couple free agents on the market, a couple positions that the Browns may be looking to shore up. Kicker. Do the Browns need a kicker? Technically, they don't need one. They don't need a kicker. But there's some interesting kickers out there. Phil Dawson's available. We all know Phil Dawson. Josh Lambo's available. Pretty good kicker. Those are two good kickers right there. Greg Joseph came on, a young, strong-legged kicker. He had his issues, missed a couple extra points. You can't be missing extra points. I think the Browns will bring in a kicker to compete with Greg Joseph. I don't think he's just going to have his job all willy-nilly. You don't have anybody to compete with. I think a kicker will be brought in. Alvin says, Corey, you and the rest of us will call them out on seasons to come. We're back and we're hungry. And watch out. Not to mention the players once who come here now. Imagine who's going to want to come after next season. Woo, don't get me excited, man. I might be on the recruiting trail too with Baker. Like, who are you? I don't know, but come to Cleveland. I may be out there too. Gary said, do you think Collins is with the team next year? Man. Jamie Collins, let me tell you. I don't know, man. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know. I really don't know. His price tag is hefty. Bill Belichick got rid of him for a reason. I'm going to tell you something about, but man, listen, Bill Belichick, he know what he doing. Man, he booted him for a reason. I don't know. That's a good question. And I know that's a cop-out answer, but I don't know, man. That's what I'm going to give you. I don't know. I usually have a yeah or a no. I don't know. That's the honest answer. I don't know. And I know that's a terrible answer to give you, but I'm just going to be honest. I'll try to be as honest as possible. I am not sure if he will be back or not because he has not produced to the level that they thought he would. And when you have those type of questions, that's not good. When you're supposed to produce, we got you for New England, thought you was going to do something. So I don't know, but I know that's a cop-out of an answer, but that's what I got. I'm not sure. I'm honest. Try to be as honest as possible. I'm really not sure if he will be back or not. We'll know more after the draft and free agency, depending on what they do and who they get. His writing will be all over the wall. Oh, Alvin, you're right, man. Listen here, Alvin, and all y'all. I'm done with, well, of course, Dorsey. I don't argue with Dorsey ever about anything. I told y'all that. But Bill Belichick, listen here. I know this is the Brown Show, and I want to appreciate everybody who is still watching Everything Browns Nation. I appreciate y'all. Y'all don't understand this from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate y'all who've been rocking with me from day 1, day 20, day 40, whatever day y'all start watching. I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all really don't understand how much it means to me. Because you're just watching me blabber about stuff that sometimes I know, sometimes I don't. You know, I'm just an extension of y'all, how I feel. Sometimes y'all feel how I feel, and sometimes y'all don't. I appreciate all your opinions, all your thoughts in the comment section. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you. Everything Browns Nation, Fan Chat Nation production, Producer G. I really do appreciate y'all. What I was going to say about what Alvin said. Listen, Bill Belichick, listen, I know Spygate, I get it, Deflategate, I understand it. I don't hate on Bill Belichick. I hate on Tom Brady. Let me just get that straight right now. And I will to the day I die. But that's here nor there. But Bill Belichick, listen, this dude's a genius, man. What player has he got rid of that really was like, woo, you messed up on that? Nobody. This man's a genius. You've seen it in the Super Bowl. Listen, it hurt my heart. It hurt my soul. Y'all seen me a couple weeks ago. Y'all seen me. If you would have told me Patriots are going to have 3 points in the fourth quarter, they won. They won. Are you kidding me? They had 3 points in the fourth quarter. Bill made Jared Goff look like a little kid. A little kid. This man's a genius, man. I'm done. I can't. There's nothing else I can do. Like, dude's great. He's just great. That's all it is. We had him at one point, and I know a lot of people hate him because we had him. I get it. I understand it. Keep that hate. Keep it strong. Because when I hate somebody, I hate until I can't hate no more. I understand it. I'm petty like that, though. I can do that. My hate game is strong. But the dude's a genius. He's a genius, and I agree with you. The man is an absolute genius. That's nothing else I can say about that. So keep those random Browns players coming. Keep them coming for you. Gary says, I feel the same. Could make argument both ways. Jamie says, thanks for taking the time to answer our questions. Great show, Corey. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jamie. Keep those random Browns players coming. And I also wanted to know, how did you guys feel about that Super Bowl? I know it's not a Browns-related topic because we could be in the Super Bowl soon. So how did you guys feel about that? Were you sad, mad, angry? How did you feel after you watched that? The season was completely over. No more football. How did you feel? How did you feel about it? What was your feelings after it was all over? Did you stay and watch the celebration as the confetti came down? Or did you turn to another channel? Did you cut off your TV? Did you go to sleep? Did you throw anything? Like, how did you feel when it was all over? Because now we're into free agency, draft, off season. It's all over. Like, how did you feel when it was all over? I was mad. I was angry. I was hating. All the above. I was mad, angry, and hating. All of the above. How did you feel? Alvin says, thank you, Corey. You're right on love. You're right on love your commentary. Appreciate that, Alvin. Gary says, I found myself thinking Baker would look better on the stage than Goff. Amen, Gary. Amen. Don't tell me if you plug. Well, listen, you could have plugged in a lot of quarterbacks. But for the sake of your comment, if you plugged in Baker Mayfield with Jared Goff, where Jared Goff was at, take him out. Like, see, here's Jared. Throw him away in the trash can where he belonged. And you put in Baker Mayfield. Listen. Now, I know people are going to say, you can't do that. The scheme is different, and he doesn't know the plays and the coach. Shut up. It's hypothetical, okay? If you put in Baker in that moment, he's not going to look like a little kid scared. He was scared. All Bill Belichick did on third down was run Engage 8. If you never play Madden, go ahead and put Engage 8. That's what Bill Belichick did. Engage 8. Everybody up the middle, drop back, and he couldn't do anything. But Sean McVay didn't adjust. I don't want to hear that. You are the quarterback. You're supposed to be smart enough to adjust. Baker would not have been scared. Baker would have took on the challenge. I agree with that comment, Gary. Natasha says, really boring. Matt says, who would you like for us to draft at wide receiver if they chose to draft one? He said, you like Jordan Humphrey? I like Metcalf. I think I said it earlier. I like DK Metcalf. That's who I would like to see them draft. Now, I do put a little on this. I'm not going to argue with what Dorsey says. But if they were to draft a receiver, but I don't think they're going to draft one in the first round, honestly. I don't think they'll go that route. And I don't know how long DK Metcalf will last on the board. Now, selfishly, like this is me just being selfish and spoiled. Like, if we don't draft him, which I don't think we will on the first round, then I want people to be scared off because of the neck injury he had and fall to us. But I like DK. Just the size, man. Man, pull him up if you haven't seen him. That's who I like. Alvin says combine, draft, free agency, and glad it was over. Gary says Ram win by at least 3 scores with Baker. Gary says Goff missed many throws. Man, listen, he made one good throw, and Brandon Cooks dropped it. The one throw in the back of the end zone, everybody's like, well, no, that wasn't Cooks' fault. The man had to stop at the back of the end zone and wait for the football. I'm just going to digress because I can't stand it that they won another Super Bowl. You see, when I start whispering, it's a bad thing because I'm usually yelling. When I whisper, it's very bad. Very bad. Alvin says, Baker is why I watched the combines in the Senior Bowl. I was happy with the pick and was glad to see that Dorsey knew what he was looking for. Exactly. All of the analysts and the football gurus and, they said Sam Darnold. All of them. Now, listen, it's only 1 year. I understand that. Sam Darnold could have a great career. He really could. But I watched him in USC against my Buckeyes. I seen enough. I said, I don't like Sam Darnold. Because when he had defensive pressure in his face, man, he was ready to get rid of that ball like a hot potato. I said, I'm good. I've seen enough. I know it's one game, but there's going to be a lot more pressure to you in the NFL. I've seen enough. And I seen Baker play against my team twice. I knew who the better quarterback was. I can tell you that off 2 games. Who the better quarterback was, Darnold or Baker. I can tell you that off 2 games. Now, I'm not going to lie. I want to say Saquon Barkley and Baker Mayfield. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here like a hypocrite. You've watched this show before. I wanted Barkley and Mayfield. But Nick Chubb has turned out, like I said, that's why I won't argue with Dorsey anymore. Because we wouldn't have Denzel Ward. If we went my route, I'm not going to argue anymore. Not at all. But I've seen enough from Darnold when he played Ohio State. I've seen it. I know it's one game, but when you can't take pressure from college, man, please, get out of here. But like I said, it's early. We will see how it turns out. But to lead this franchise right here, it's more than what you see on film. It's more than the throws. It's about, do you have what it takes to lead this franchise from nothing? Because that's what we're coming from. Nothing. And to rise all the way up. All the way up. No, I'm not singing the song, but all the way up. That's what Baker is doing. And that's the difference. It takes a quarterback like that, the personality, to go on radio shows, to go on TV shows, to look Colin Cowherd in the face and say, shut up, you're hating. To tweet, you're hating. To stay yourself. I'm not a cookie-cutter quarterback. To have that moxie, to have players like Jarvis Landry rally around you when you're just a rookie, that's who we needed in that spot. So I agree with that comment. He made the right choice. He will have his ups and he will have his downs. It's not going to be roses in year 2. It will be downs too. He's going to throw picks. He's going to fumble. He's going to make bad decisions. But that Houston, Texas game, if you remember, when he threw 3 interceptions in the first half, didn't flinch. Didn't flinch at all. That's when I knew right there, we got one. We got one. He came out firing in the second half like it didn't even matter. That's when I knew we had one. And that's what it takes. Alvin says, on a happy note, no more Mike on the draft picks. Whoop, whoop. And David says, what up from sunny South Florida? Oh, Dave, you going to kill me like that? Man, enjoy the weather in Florida. It's sunny, too, in Columbus, but it's about 25 degrees. But you got it in Florida, chilling. Shout out to you for watching. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to wrap it up with that on a positive note. Sunny Florida. We will not have the number 1 draft pick this year. We might have to wait till hour 2 to get to our pick, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want no cold weather, Dave. Stop it. You don't want cold weather. Be careful what you wish for, okay? My guy, be careful what you wish for. My name is Corey Boyd, producer G. This is Everything Browns Nation. We will see you sometime in the future. I will leave it at that. We're going to leave it for a surprise. So whenever you see us next time pop up live, think of it as a Christmas present. I'm Corey Boyd. That's producer G. We out. Yeah.